you can fly, you can fly. Think of the happiest things. It's the same as having wings.
Take the path that moonbeams make.
If the moon is still awake,
You'll see him wink his eye.
you can fly, you can fly, you can fly.
You go with a high and ho to the stars beyond the blue.
There's a neverland waiting for you, where all your happy dreams come true. Every dream that you dream will come true.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Kevin Miller in the morning here. Eagle High School, promoting our school, securing our future. One of the great examples of education at its finest. Premium Blend joining us. Young people getting ready for the graduation season. Thinking about that. By the way, if you'd love for us to join one of your schools, we still are accepting it. We're going to go into June, probably July, thanks to our friends at CapEd Credit Union and Team Mazda Subaru. Phone numbers here, 580-5436, 580-KIDO. Why don't we grab a microphone for one of our guests here? We've got one for this young man, and we'll talk to these students here at Eagle High School as we get ready. I do want to tell you that a new study, do we have a mic for this young lady here? Yep. Why don't we give her that mic? A major study talking about drinking and whether or not it's healthy for you. We'll tell you about that in a minute. Ma'am, why don't you introduce yourself to the listening audience? Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, I'm Maureen O'Neill. I'm the president of choirs here at Eagle High School.
Wow, what an impressive crew you have.
Thank you very much.
And you, sir?
My name is Josh Gentile. I'm a senior at Eagle High School. I sing in chamber choir and premium blend and the varsity quartet.
Indeed. We're going to have to get you a little closer. Sorry about that. Appreciate it. But tell us a little bit about why choir, why singing is so special. Sir, we'll start to you, and then we'll go back to the young lady, then back and forth.
Well, I have to really dig deep for this one. Choir, I joined at the beginning of this year in the fall because as a prospective music major, I figured it would be important for me to learn how to sing. But it's been so much more than that for me. The sense of community and the love, the passion, the energy, the bond that we have forged in chamber choir and jazz choir has been formative for my life. And I didn't even realize it when I first joined, that it would be so profound for me.
I think I agree with what Josh said about the emotional connection. The bond that students have when they sing together is incredible just because you have to be so vulnerable and able to open yourself up and let people in and just show them every part of you. So when you see that in other students, it really forms lasting connections.
Now, how old are you guys? You sound like you're in your mid-30s. You're so mature.
18.
18 as well.
18. So when we talk about the beauty of music and serving the community and going out and making a difference, can you describe that?
Yeah, so we've done some events in the past, and we have one coming up soon with Premium Blend, which you've heard this morning, where we go out to elementary and feeder schools that come to Eagle High School, and it's really fun to just see the kids get really excited about music and start that passion in them, and it's often a good way to get them interested in doing music in high school, so that's really fun.
Another thing that's sometimes overlooked is simply singing the national anthem at sporting events. We try to get as many groups together as possible, small chamber groups, and we sing as many national anthems as we can at all the sporting events. And that's just one of the little things we do for community outreach. We get people connected with the choir. They feel like it's part of the school. It's part of the Eagle High School community.
Well, what do you say to people that listen to this station, including your host, a very cynical person? You two are very optimistic this morning. So making a difference, what does that mean to you as far as not only being a member of the choir, but, as a young adult, as if not now, a future taxpayer?
Well, I think the most important part is that everyone has a different story to tell with the music. And the great thing about choir is you put 45, 50 people together, and whereas we're all singing the same music, we each have our own story to tell, and we interpret it in a different way. And my biggest goal is to be inspiring on the stage, not necessarily to have the most perfect performance. last night was a pretty good example. I felt like we really created magic last night. We had a concert, even though I wasn't vocally at my best.
Wait a minute. You had a concert, then you had to show up here for the early morning show.
Absolutely. It happens quite a bit. It's a very busy schedule. I also do band, so I'm used to the early mornings, late nights.
For me, helping other people starts with your own outlook and your attitude. And I think just always maintaining positivity and joy goes a long way in helping brighten other people's day. Because if they see you smiling and happy, that just reflects in them and they'll get there too.
Okay, let's talk about plans after Eagle High School.
Yeah, so I'm planning to go to Westmont College in Santa Barbara, and I'm going to be studying pre-med down there.
I will be studying music education in the fall at Central Washington University in Ellensburg.
Well, why did you choose that university?
It is absolutely a stellar music department. We visited there on our chamber choir tour just very briefly, but last week I took a tour and I got to watch all the ensembles. I met the professors. It is absolutely incredible. I felt like I belonged there. I was talking to my dad. I said, I have to go there. And he said, yeah, you do have to go there.
And you, ma'am?
Well, Westmont has a really good acceptance rate into med school, and so that was one big thing for me. And then it's by the beach, so can't say no to that.
All right. Anything else you two would like to share with us? By the way, we so appreciate you guys coming here. Any sentimental thoughts as you get ready to leave Eagle High?
And anyone who has not started singing and is even mildly interested, I highly recommend it, because even as an instrumentalist...
Now, wait a minute. I got thrown out of my 8th grade music class because I'm tone deaf. Some people, unfortunately, sir, it's not meant for them. I wish it were, but I'm sorry. That's my own editorial opinion. Back to you, sir.
All right, yeah. As an instrumentalist, I had no idea it would be so inspiring for me to do this. But even in music in general, if someone wants to pick up an instrument, there are teachers, there are instruments you can get an instrument. Music is something that I think most people, if not everyone, should participate in for the experience, the community, and the self-expression that's available.
Sure.
I would just say appreciate the little things and take your time, because you only have 4 years in this period of your life and you're not going to get them back. So make the most of it while you can.
Well, thank you both. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And good luck to both of you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Kevin Miller in the morning here, CapEd Credit Union, T Mazda Subaru, supporting our schools, promoting our future, promoting our schools, securing our future. Here at Eagle High School, over 8 years, we've been doing this program since 2011, bringing you the good news about education. Speaking of good news, how about this one? Maybe you like to have a few drinks. Maybe you think to yourself, you're talking to your spouse, it's not so bad. You quote a study. What study? I don't really know what study, but it says that, drinking's good for you. Not so fast, my friend. Blood pressure and stroke risk steadily rise the more alcohol people drink. And previous claims that 1 or 2 drinks a day might protect you against a stroke are just not true, according to, you guessed it, another new major genetic study. The research, which used data from 160,000-strong cohort of Chinese adults, many of whom are unable to drink alcohol due to a genetic intolerance gene, found that people who drink moderately, what is drinking moderately? Is that the same as just having one potato chip? I only can relate to food, sorry. Consuming 10 to 20 grams of alcohol a day raise their risk of stroke by 10 to 15%. For heavy drinkers, consuming 4 or more drinks a day, blood pressure rises significantly, and the risk of stroke increases by 35%, according to this study. So, you're thinking about having a few, might be better to take a walk. I know, I talk it. I need to examine it as well. By the way, we are talking about a few things. 580-5436, 580-KIDU. Did you hear the big news yesterday? Our friend Sean Hannity was talking about it. He had Donald Trump on, President Trump. We'll share that with you. But Joe Biden decided to jump in to the race. We'll talk a little bit about that. Do you think Joe Biden has a chance? You've got a new poll having him up over 9 points over President Trump. We'll share that. And growth in the Treasure Valley. Channel 7 releasing new data. They went back to their old archives, treasure trove of stuff there at Channel 7, and talked a little bit and shared with us the information about growth. And if you're stuck in traffic right now, or if it's like the Talladega this weekend and it's crazy and it's white knuckle time, where's the return on investment? What should we be done? Is it time to take a look at slowing growth? We'll talk more about that coming up. But first, you can't ignore this, the biggest movie ever. I couldn't believe it last night as Kevin Miller was working on one of his many side jobs, because if this blows up, you never know what Kevin Miller can do. Always good to have a backup plan. The trouble is you have to follow through with it sometimes, or to have, a side hustle. No, that wasn't me being your Uber or Lyft driver or your Uber Eats delivery guy, and I don't want to give you a hint. However, I couldn't believe how many people, just went to see a movie last night. Did you?
It's funny. It's great. It's a strong movie. Really, really good. I got to see it again.
It was a great ending, and it was well worth the wait.
This is what people have been waiting for almost 72 hours. So.
And 11 years.
Exactly, and 11 years, truly.
No more face left. I cried it off.
Have you been wearing that for 3 days?
For the most part.
Crying, the laughing, the anger, everything was just amazing.
I slept through, Thor the Dark World and Iron Man 3 because it kind of scared me a little bit.
Nobody wants to be scared, but so many people going to see the Avengers Endgame.
Ladies and gentlemen, we give you Avengers Endgame.
Crazy time. Of course, you go back, and if you're maybe in your late 30s, early 40s, movies were bigger then. Oh, Kevin Miller, there you go, being so nostalgic. No, because you didn't have the streaming, you didn't have Netflix, Hulu. You would go to a movie, and it would be like a bonding event. It's very rare, whether it's the Avengers or some other big blockbuster, that you have movies drawing these big audiences. So props to everyone who went to go see Avengers Endgame. I was continuing to try and justify my existence. Coming up next, your thoughts on Joe Biden. 580-5436. 580-KIDO, plus more of Premium Blend here at Eagle High School. And so thank you for listening to this program, number one. Number two, to our partners, Cap-Ed Credit Union, Team Mazda, Subaru. This is the only program like this in the state, the only program like this in the nation that really allows us to partner with our community educational institutions and really show what's going on in schools. Now, again, everything's not perfect, but it is great to see young people motivated to learn as we get ready for that big graduation season. Of course, prom season going on as well. Please be very careful. KIDO Talk Radio, Kevin Miller in the morning. Coming up next, your phone calls. Kevin Miller, KIDO Talk Radio.
I get no kick from champagne, Mere alcohol doesn't thrill me at all. So tell me,
Why should it be
could it be, would it be, should it be true that I get a kick out of you? Some like the perfume and smell, well I don't, 'cause I'm sure that if I took even one sip,
that would bore me terrifically?
terribly, horribly, awfully, so instead I get a kick out of you. I get a kick every time I see you standing there before me. I get a kick though it's clear to me you obviously don't adore me. I get no kick in a pain and I won't cry.
Flying too high with some guy in the sky is my idea of nothing to do.
I get a kick out of you.
Amazing job, Premium Blend, Eagle High School. Kevin Miller in the morning. Thank you very much. Promoting our schools, securing our future. Outstanding work, folks. Thank you all for joining us. Your thoughts on Joe Biden, we'll get to him in a minute. 580-5436. You're always welcome to, thank you, Seth, to join the conversation. But here's something that will make you wonder about. Well, just how goofy some criminals are. Perhaps planning to open up their own clinic one day, a trio of thieves walked out of a southeastern Pennsylvania hospital with nearly $500,000 in medical care. You're thinking, okay, shame on the clinic for having their doors open. The two men and a woman pulled up to the medical center on Saturday, filled their backpacks with several Olympus colonoscopy scopes taken from one of the secured parts of the facility. That's right. These folks stole over $450,000 of colonoscopy instruments from a hospital, which begs the question, you know where that stuff has been? Authorities say the value was almost $500,000. Police are now on the lookout, reviewing security footage of the entire caper. So, for those of you that have had the magic of the colonoscopy, and to our great friend Jeremy, yes, I need to schedule that, and it's a rite of passage for men of a certain age, and for all people, really. Can you imagine why anybody would steal $500,000 of colonoscopy equipment, or what is it, the coloscope or something of that nature? Like I said, do they really want to know where that stuff has been, number one? Number two, just the idea of taking care of yourself, and, I'm right there with you. You have to do these tests, and I was talking to a friend of mine, he goes, nope, I'm not doing it, and any advice on the great colonoscopy, you can always email me, Kevin at KIDO Talk Radio. That might be a little bit too much information. So we can't get a lot of people to bite on this, but Joe Biden making his big announcement saying he's going to make Joe Biden great again, or America great again. America's doing pretty well. I was talking to somebody the other day, and they said, you and your boy Trump, if you guys would just behave, things would go a lot easier for us. The economy's doing great. Why does he have to be Trump? Well, the magic of President Trump is he's unorthodox. The magic of President Trump is he does these crazy, wacky, zany tweets that many people will say they're unpresidential. On the other hand, he gives it right back to folks. And the libs and the Democrats, they really don't know what to do. By the way, if you missed the president last night on the Sean Hannity show, Sean will be sharing his interview with the president this afternoon at 3 o'clock on KIDO Talk Radio. That's 107.5 FM, 580 AM. And back to this issue, though, when you're thinking of Joe Biden, you take a look at former President Obama's economic record versus President Trump's economic record, and it's really not comparable, right? More on that in a minute. First, traffic, weather, together. KIDO Talk Radio. Good morning, Dave.
Well, I think we're calling him Sleepy Joe because I've known him for a while, and he's a pretty sleepy guy.
We are in the battle for the soul of this nation.
He's not going to be able to do the job.
And that's when we heard the words of the President of the United States that stunned the world and shocked the conscience of this nation. He said there were, quote, some very fine people on both sides. Very fine people on both sides?
He's a pretty sleepy guy. He's not going to be able to deal with President Xi, I will tell you. That's a different level of energy and, frankly, intelligence.
Everything that has made America America is at stake.
So I sort of refer to him as Sleepy Joe because a lot of people wanted me to change the word sleepy to something else that rhymes with it.
So there you have President Trump and Joe Biden going back and forth. By the way, coming up today at 3, Sean Hannity will be sharing his interviews with President Trump. Phone numbers here, 580-5436. A new poll out has Joe Biden up by 9 against President Trump. Joe Biden actually went to Anita Hill. You might remember those Clarence Thomas hearings back in the day. He was the head of the Judiciary Committee at the age of 48. Imagine that. Joe Biden, running for president, was the chairman of this committee. Very contentious. He went and apologized to Anita Hill. Apparently, she says she's not accepting his apology on the way he handled her. And really, it comes down to this. You can take away those of us that love the politics like most people love sports. You can take away the smack talk. However, it comes down to Joe Biden's record versus what we have right now. Gasoline prices a little high. I'd love to see the president tackle that one. But the economy's doing well. I know we're not reporting that, but the economy's doing really well. And most people, they vote with their checkbooks, right? More coming up. By the way, we're going to talk Treasure Valley growth. We've got a lot going on this morning. We're going to hear from our friends Aaron and Rob. We're going to hear from Todd Erickson of CapEd Credit Union. Also, more from Eagle High School here promoting our school, securing our future. Kevin Miller, KIDO Talk Radio, 107.5 FM, 580 AM. Good morning, Maggie. And good morning, Kevin Miller in the morning from Eagle High School, the Eagle High School Band. We've got two guests joining us now to talk a little basketball here. Kevin Miller in the morning, KIDO Talk Radio. Ma'am, why don't you introduce yourself? You're going to have to get very close because it's a little loud, but thank you for joining us.
Hi, thank you for having me. My name is Jamie McKinney, and I'm a senior here at Eagle High.
Well, thank you, Jamie. Appreciate you.
And my name is Megan Boyd, and I'm also a senior at Eagle High.
Okay, we have her mic way too loud and her mic not loud enough. It's organized chaos here, but you guys are used to that, playing in front of packed houses and the craziness of basketball, right?
Yeah, it gets pretty crazy at the games sometimes, especially when it comes to the state tournament. There's a lot of people that actually come out to see us play, and it's really exciting.
Indeed.
Yeah, the state tournament had a really great turnout, so I'm glad we got to play in that environment this year.
Well, we can certainly hear you, yes, loud and clear. So tell us a little bit about the basketball team.
The basketball team has a really nice dynamic. We're 6 seniors, I think, this year, and we had a lot of youngins on the team as well.
Wait a minute. You're saying 6 seniors. That's pretty lot of seniors, right?
Yeah, I think this is the largest graduating class we've had on the basketball team in the last 4 years.
But then you're saying that you had a lot of youngins. So.
We did. We had a lot of swing players as well. I think total we had 14 or 15 on the team.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of players.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think this year we had a really great team. You know, each game we were all playing together, and during the state tournament, it was just a really fun opportunity for us.
Sure. And for people that aren't familiar with what happened at the state tournament,
yeah, we won.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, what's next for you two?
I'm going to the University of Washington to continue my studies, but I'm not going to be playing basketball anymore.
And I'll be attending the University of Denver to continue my athletic and academic career.
I love how you guys always talk, how you position this, and this, and taking my talents here, there, and everywhere. So what are you going to study?
I'm actually going to be a pre-med student.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm going into the College of Business.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you can start your own hospital together.
There you go.
Might as well.
What do you guys say to people that, maybe they live in Napa, Cuna, wherever, throughout the Treasure Valley, they're not familiar with Eagle High School? What would you say about your experience here?
I think that my experience here has been really nice. The people here are great. There's great coaches here. There's great staff. And I think that people who live in cities that are farther out really don't know about us because they just kind of assume about us. But I think that actually once you get to know us, we're a really good group of people.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I know you're a good group of people, but they would have that misconception. Coming up, we'll go to the White House. Can you stand by for a minute? We have to go to the White House. Is that all right?
Course.
I'm not kidding.
All right.
All right. Why don't we turn her microphone off because it's popping. Let's go to John. We're having all sorts of issues with you and your mic, but no worries. Let's go to John Decker joining us from the White House, Fox News Radio. John, good morning.
Hey, good morning to you, Kevin. How are you doing today?
We are at Eagle High School, once again, out in the schools as we always are. And certainly one of the great things that I love about this program is it brings us back to when we were in high school. Any memories you can share with us?
From high school, good memories. I have a reunion coming up, and I always attend my reunions, so I'm looking forward to that. That's in November. We always have, I don't know about you, Kevin, but with my high school, we always have our reunions. I think it's the day after Thanksgiving, when people are home, in the community where I grew up. So that's something I'm looking forward to, catching up with some friends that I haven't seen in a while, and good memories from high school. I'm very fortunate in that way.
Well, John, let's talk a little bit about the president and, of course, the latest concerning what's going on at the White House, sir.
Well, the president has a busy day. In fact, a busy 24 hours in store for himself. He just left within the past 10 minutes from the White House. He's heading out to Andrews, and he's going to fly out to Indianapolis, Indiana. There, the president, along with the vice president, will deliver a speech to the NRA. Their annual convention is in Indianapolis this year. Then he flies back. He'll be back here early afternoon, and at 4:15 in the afternoon today, the president will have a one-on-one meeting with Shinzo Abe, the Prime Minister of Japan. The Prime Minister is here for a 2-day visit. In fact, he'll also join the President and Mrs. Trump, and the Prime Minister will bring his wife along for dinner at the White House tonight to celebrate Melania Trump, the First Lady's birthday. And in addition to that, the President will play a round of golf with the Prime Minister tomorrow morning at his golf club in Northern Virginia. And then tomorrow night, you may have already reported on this, Kevin, the President's doing a campaign rally in Green Bay, Wisconsin. It's sort of counter-programming because the same time the President's doing his campaign rally in Green Bay, the White House Correspondents' Dinner is going to be happening in Washington, D.C. So it's the third consecutive year that he skipped the dinner. And I think the president probably has more fun at these campaign rallies than he would actually at the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
Well, John, we appreciate you. Thank you very much. You have a great weekend, sir.
Thanks a lot, Kevin. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you, John Decker. Let's go back to our guests here. Can we give you have the mic? There we go. Kevin Miller in the morning here, KIDO Talk Radio. So you're getting ready to jump in the world. What would you say?
What would I say to who?
Well, you're graduating. This is a big moment in your life.
Well, I'm excited.
Look, you've been leading this. I got a little lazy in this interview. So
I am excited to jump into the world. I think that I've learned a lot throughout my high school experience, and I think that high school has a lot to teach anybody in life, and that when you are ready to go out into the world, it's going to be great.
An optimist.
Yeah.
And you?
And it's the same for me. You know, I'm really excited for this opportunity that I get at Denver, and I'm just ready to make the most of it.
Well, we appreciate both of you being such good sports and joining us here today. And congratulations.
Thank you.
On graduating state champions and making our society better. God bless both of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So inspiring here this morning. Kevin Miller in the morning here at KIDO Talk Radio. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Why don't we get Aaron and Rob over here now on KIDO Talk Radio, promoting our schools, securing our future. Kevin Miller in the morning. Thank you all for joining us. We're joined now by Aaron and Rob of Team Mazda Subaru. We always love Eagle High School, and it's so important to promote and really make sure the community understands just the magic of what's going on in education.
Morning, Kevin.
It is magic.
You know, when we talk about being in schools and stuff like that, Aaron gets a little giddy because he just, I give him the big pitch, and it's good morning, Kevin. What, are you happy about Josh Jacobs and the Raiders? Is that?
Oh, my goodness, stop. We can't start that way. Well, I get a little nervous because I think I was always in trouble when I was in high school.
Well, look,
you're stupid.
You are in the honorary detention place here, so you're in good company,
this
brother.
is perfect.
I think
this
they
is like
call
Saturday school.
Yes.
They call it the Ulrich room. You know,
the Ulrich room?
Yeah, they get
I
a special.
love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
I had enough hours that I earned it.
I really love that idea where, we all have our rooms.
Define it.
I would love to steal that. That is great.
What would be the K. Millie room?
Oh, that would be the detention room like his.
Yes. We probably knew each other.
Probably the in-school suspension. Oh, now, look, we're getting off topic here. Let's talk a little bit about why Team Mazda Subaru, why you all promote local education. What does it mean to both of you?
This morning when I was listening, it kind of defined it for me. One of the gentlemen that was on, and he was talking about, that last night he was at the concert. This morning he had to get up early. Those kids really are the epitome of education. That kid's working hard. He was late last night in school. But to me, it's a multitude of things. It's not just education, but it's the music. It's the art. Right. It's the things that schools bring to these kids and getting their interest off those smartphones. I think that's a big deal.
Rob brought his A game today.
He did bring
How are you
his
going to
A-game.
match that one?
Well, I don't know that you can. I think maybe you can only try to, after something like that. But I would say that drive was refreshing. That we were talking about it yesterday.
Yeah.
There's your Alex P. right there, Mr. Keaton. Right, kids
now,
that
who's
have
Alex
this drive.
Keaton?
Alex P. Keaton.
A lot of people might not know that reference.
Oh my
Well,
gosh!
I think your audience does.
Okay.
I think your audience
Was
knows
that
who it is.
Family Ties? Was that?
I think it was. And that's what we're looking for. You know, it may not be in the tie and all that, but that drive, and
Sure.
that's exciting. That's exciting to hear.
And when you hear the work ethic.
Yeah, yeah. It's the older folks like us always are concerned about those young people,
right?
That they won't be, what we were. When we were kids, we had to walk uphill both ways, right? Come
Well,
on.
thankfully, they won't be what Aaron and I were talking about at Bowman Square.
Well, let's hope not. Let's hope not.
Well, they're probably a little smarter, but
right,
it's going to be hard to match that drive that both of us have. I know
Sure.
you get up at 2 to be here by 4.
Look, I have nothing else. I have nothing else.
Come on, I'm trying to help you here, Kevin.
I appreciate that, but full disclosure, I have nothing else. But you're right. So many times we hear the negative, and that's what's great about coming to these schools, and what's great about you two and the team allowing us to do this.
Well, we're excited to be with you for the whole event. Sounds like you're going to add some more in June and July.
Yes.
And so we're going to keep coming, and we're going to keep supporting schools and supporting kids and supporting
Supporting
the
Kevin.
parents. And Kevin, the parents of kids, it's hopefully they're listening to you this morning.
Well, hopefully that would be nice to have somewhat of an audience. But on KIDO Talk Radio, let's talk a little bit about some of the troubled areas, some of the challenges, because whether it's here in Ada County or Canyon County, whether it's a teacher getting a deal on a car, whether it's filling up a Subaru with a car, you guys do this all the time. And, helping the community has nothing to do with what you guys do for a living, but it's so crucial to make a difference.
So we made a decision. Aaron and I have been together now 10 and a half years, and we made a decision that we weren't just going to we weren't just going to sell cars. We weren't just going to support our families or support the people that work for us. We were also going to try to reach out to the community, and that's about the time when I met you. And you took us to some great places. We also have some other charities that we're connected to, and that those things give one purpose. And I think that Aaron and I have found that it makes us feel good, and it also we try to involve our people and bring them to those events as well. And like I said, it's good to have a purpose.
Wow, mic drop. I don't know how you follow that up.
Rob is showing up big time today. Aaron and Rob with Kevin Miller, KIDO Talk Radio from Team Mazda Super. Let's get a little touchy-feely. Education and family means a lot. And when you see these kids, whether it's schools in Nampa, whether it's schools in Caldwell, whether it's schools in Eagle, they inspire. The older we get, it gives us such a greater perspective on life. And, the volunteers, the parents, people in their cars right now, stuck. It's graduation time, a time of change.
A time of change.
And I think one of the great things about coming into all these schools, Kevin, is we don't let some of the media, some of the stuff, they're all millennials.
Hold on. We would never say anything.
I know
negative.
you wouldn't, but some of these other shows. Next moment. Anyway, so you get to see them. You get to see them in the positives and them actually working and all the good things that they do, instead of just that broad paint stroke of who they are or what they are. And that's what gives you hope as a parent. I know Rob and I both have 12-year-olds, and you want that opportunity, and you want them to take the reins and really drive for it.
So what would you say to all parents? Let's, again, get a little deeper, because there's nothing more personal or intimate than trusting someone to educate your kid.
Yeah, get involved.
And it's a partnership.
Yeah,
I think, especially with kids, give them all the time. I mean, there's nothing more important. It's not your cell phone. It's not, maybe sacrificing a little bit of you and just spending that extra time with them, because, you get out what you put in with kids, and just really cutting out an extra 15 minutes, whether it's just to, whatever, read to them at night or listen to their story about how school went or help them with their homework. And I think that's the biggest thing. You can't just throw your kids into school and go, well, that teacher failed my kid. It doesn't work that way. It's not fair.
Yeah. Yeah, my mom was involved when I was a kid. She was in there. So I went to public schools. She was right there. She was on the school board. She was in school every day. She made those phone calls to hey, where's your kid when your kid's sick? She was in the school every day. So I think that's important. Is parents need to get involved.
All right, more coming up next from Eagle High School. Kevin Miller, KIDO Talk Radio. And there we go, our friends at Eagle High School, the band having a good time. Kevin Miller in the morning. Just part of the magic of promoting our schools, securing our future, brought to you by Cap-Ed Credit Union and Team Mazda Subaru. And this is something you don't hear on radio across the country, around the world. Just our way of thanking the community for supporting us. And as we move along, and we're dancing on the radio, but again, thank you very much to the Eagle High School band. Kevin Miller in the morning here. Phone numbers 580-5436, 580-KIDO. How do you really top that? If you would like your school profiled, if you'd like to host one of our broadcasts, we are still accepting applications. You can email me, Kevin at KIDOtalkradio.com. Any and all schools, private schools, charter schools, home schools. I don't know if we'll come to your home, but we could, again, make sure that the homeschool community is profiled. Maybe you can come to the studio, something of that nature. We've done that before. So we are rolling with our Promote Our School Secure program since 2011, by the way. One question we are taking a look at this morning is travel. Are you stuck in traffic right now? Do you like where the Treasure Valley is going? We've got, over 300,000 people being added to our infrastructure, and people are worried about 2040. I think people should be worried about 2025 or 2020, and we've been harping on this for years. It's funny, my mom used to say, oh, Kevin Miller, all you ever do is harp, harp, harp. Well, that negative trait as a child certainly helps in talk radio when you're looking at issues that aren't really covered. You know, usually we talk about, the legislature and those people coming in from, regardless, Canyon County, Gem County, Boise County, wherever, you're going to need the adequate infrastructure. So I've said, why not take a look at some type of moratorium on building? I know you're saying, well, Kevin Miller, that's a pretty progressive idea, and it would be detrimental to our economy, would it? Think about the lack of affordable housing. Just, a few years ago, rents in the Treasure Valley, you could get a decent home, 9 years ago for $800-900 a month in Meridian, in Nampa, wherever, in Kuna. Now you're looking at a house payment or even more than a house payment to rent. I know it's not the government's role to create affordable housing, but on the other hand, what type of society are we going to have if people can't afford to live? I know you're thinking, Kevin, you must have had some type of smoothie from California this morning. No, not at all. But it is an issue when we're talking about transportation and we're looking at the basic infrastructure needs. Now, it's very easy for people that are in media to say we have problems, especially people that work the morning shift. Look, State Street is a ghost town usually when I come in, except for the tailgaters at 4 in the morning. The connector, when you have the tailgaters and everything else, I get it. But right now, and of course going home tonight, we pay taxes and stuff. Why not make sure that we do that? Sorry I didn't get to Pete Mountain Home. I'm having some issues with my email here. Let's get you to work safely and on time. KIDO Talk Radio. Good morning, Dave.